All right. Welcome to another episode of Patent Pending, a podcast for creatives.
By creatives. And today on episode 24, we have on
Sam Marshall.
Hey
better
guys,
known as
Sam the Canadian. Thanks for having me, guys.
Dude, thanks for coming on.
Appreciate it.
Being here.
Yeah, really cool opportunity. I'm grateful for this. So thank you.
Yeah, of course, man. So let's start off. Let's tell the people, what do you do?
Right now, I am full-time nightlife, day life photographer, and a little bit of freelance. So, but primarily nightlife and day life. But that's what I like to do. So.
But you are full-time freelance. So you're
Yeah,
freelancing.
I guess is that what they say? I don't know
so
the lingo yet.
So you're freelancing.
So freelancing.
You don't have like a main employer. You don't have
I don't have a corporation looking over me or something.
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're all 1099.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to.
There you go.
I should be like, hi, I'm a 1099.
I'm a 1099 employee. employee.
Yeah, just doing that right now, just doing more freelance stuff, and I love it. It's like it's like technically like my second year, but like my first year, like full-time.
You fully cut the cord.
I fully cut the cord on
the beginning of the year, right?
Yeah, this year. So
well, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It's
Dude,
a big
congrats.
jump. I'm happy. I'm glad I took the jump when I did because I was just kind of miserable in the corporate.
Where were
office.
you? What was your corporate?
So it was like I was a product photographer / like social media photographer for a smoking accessory company.
Oh, okay.
So whenever there'd be like new smoking accessories would come in, I would have to like take the photos for like the website or the social media, do all that stuff.
And that just kind of ran its
It just
course
kind
for
of,
you?
yeah, I like the more run and gun type style shooting. That's like my favorite thing to do. I'd rather just be in myself and just run around.
Sounds like you don't like to talk to people.
That's
how I feel.
That's three of us.
Yeah, we're all
If I
here
could
for
just
a reason.
put in earplugs and just shoot a show and then go home.
Dude.
Yeah, that's what I like.
dream.
That's why I like it. That's one of the reasons. Obviously more, but
What are some of the other reasons that you like doing the freelance thing over the corporate thing?
it's just like I have, much more free time. I'm my own boss, which is cool. I get to sleep in. Working the freelance, I get to like people like reach out to me because they like my vision, and that's
Right.
kind of cool. Realizing like I've built something over the past couple of years, and now like people are seeing it. They're like, "Hey, I want to apply your vision to what I'm trying to showcase," and
Right.
now it's like it's kind of cool. Just realizing like
It's super cool. Yeah.
like I started from the ground up, and now people are like, "We like what you do, and we want to hire you for that." I'm like, "Cool." And it's cool. It's a great opportunity. So I couldn't be more thankful. So
How long, when did you start taking photos?
I want to say like I started, I want to say like 2017. I used to go hiking a lot near Red Rock. I live like right near Red Rock Canyon. So I would go there and I'm like, this is
That's
kind of
where
cool.
all the rich people live.
Yeah. Yeah. Red Rock Canyon's like my backyard.
That's where all
It's
the
off
money
fence.
is, Sam.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
No, but I just like started taking photos on my iPhone and I was like, I kind of want to try a camera. Then I saw one of my coworkers with like a crazy, like a Canon 5D Mark IV. And I was just like, whoa, what's that? Like, tell me about that. And then he brought me in. Shout out Daryl. Thank you, Daryl. He brought me in. He's like, oh, let me show you like what you need. Like, this is what you need. Like, get this, get that. And of course, he's like, get this camera. I get the opposite camera. And he's like, that's not what I said. I was like, sorry. Like, I got this one. It was cheaper. But it was cool. I just started like taking photos of like mountains. And then gradually I went to the streets. And then as soon as I like stepped into the streets, took a photo, I was like, whoa, this is fucking cool. Like, I like this. Like, I took a photo. I came home. I edited the photo like the way I see it. And
Right.
it all just went.
Well, that's
there,
that's a good point because your photos, your street photography is super sick.
Oh, thank
and you
you.
do have a very
Appreciate it.
distinct style, which is very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I look at it, it's almost like it's definitely euphoric
Yeah. A lot of people
in
say
that sense. Like it doesn't like it's not just like a nighttime shot with like lights. It's definitely does take you to that place of like, oh, this isn't like this is definitely how you
Yeah.
captured it, and not just like anybody could like. If I try to do that same shot, it would be completely different.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
It'll all be different. So a lot of people say it's like cinematic or something like that, or
Yeah, it's very Blade Runner-esque.
like Blade
Right.
Runner-esque. So
Blade Runner, Wesley Snipes,
Wesley Snipes.
or was that?
No, not Wesley Snipes.
Whoa, you're thinking of Blade.
Yeah, that's Blade.
Blade
Close.
Runner.
Wesley Snipes. Hey,
never saw Blade Runner,
That was a cool
clearly.
movie, though. Blade.
It's Blade Runner is a good like it's even for like an 80s movie that you're gonna rewatch now, it's pretty good still.
It's good. It's a little long. The newer one, the 2049. It's like unnecessarily like almost 3 hours. And it didn't need to be, but
Right.
obviously like they dragged out so many parts because it's
Right. The
cinematography.
reboot.
Yeah.
But-
So if you've been you picked up camera 5 years ago.
Yeah.
What did you do before you were a photographer?
I was just a busser. I was a busser. I worked, food and beverage for like the last like I'm gonna say almost like 8 years, 10
Oh,
years,
shit,
something like
okay,
that. So
okay.
I started at like 2020, sorry, not 2022, 2012. I started in like Cosmo. I was a bar back there.
Oh wow.
So I worked all like all the
How
front end bars and all that
How
stuff.
ironic. Sam was a bartender at the Cosmo.
Yeah, I talked to him about that, but he worked at the pool,
Yeah.
and I didn't work at the pool. I only worked like inside like the casino bars and all that stuff. So
Lobby bar.
lobby bars, all that stuff, and I was like on call, so I'd go to like different areas 5 days a week. I wasn't like really primarily like full time one area, so I did that for about 4 years. I wanted to be a bartender, but then I realized after like 3 years, I was like, like we said earlier, I hate people. And they have to like fake being nice, and people complain about, dumb shit like, oh, my drink's not strong enough. I'm like, it's a Long Island. That's all it is liquor. Like, what are you talking about? And then I realized that. And then after that, I quit because I was like, oh, maybe I'll try something else. And then I did UPS for like a season. I was just like a truck driver helper. That was cool. I didn't mind that, but it was definitely like hard work too. That's another thing. And I was like, maybe. And I was like, nah. And then I did Top Golf after that. I opened the Top Golf venue here in Vegas. So I was there for like 5 years. Same thing, busser. And that was cool. It was great. Like cool, like meeting a lot of people. And it definitely like it grounded me, grew like thick skin, realizing like, oh, this is like a hard job. Like makes me grateful to like work 8 hours, sweat my ass off, and go home with like decent amount of money. It wasn't the best, but
Right.
and then that's where I met Daryl, who showed me like his camera gear. And I was like, yo, what is that? Like, how do I apply?
Right.
He's like, just buy this. And that's where like, photography started. And then after like 3 years technically I was there for 5, but after like there's like a 3-year mark, I reach with certain jobs. I'm like, do I still want to do this shit? Like, I don't know. And I hated it. Like summers were miserable there because 115 out and you're sweating your ass off and people are like, it's hot. I'm like, yeah, no shit. Like,
Right.
like, and then after that, that's when I, slowly picked up the camera.
Yeah,
I was like,
nice.
let me try this.
So then you were shooting. So you were still having like the 9 to 5, the bartender, bar back, and starting to shoot, right? Or you first got a camera, kind
so
of like.
I was doing like, full-time work. And then on my days off, I would just go out to like the Vegas streets and just take photos of like everything. I didn't care what it was. Like I like nights more because the lighting's just cooler, but I'll try to do day and nights, but mostly nights. So even like after work, I'll have my camera with me and I'll just like walk the street for like an hour or two, just put on music, just walk the street, just find something that like looks cool. Like take a photo of that. Like it looks cool.
Right.
And then of course, like I kind of grew up on Instagram. So like the first year and a half, I only shot portrait style, which I was like, everything's gotta be portrait. If it's not portrait, it's not going to do good. And then I realized after like 2 years, I was like, nah, I can tilt the camera. And I was like, oh, a whole new world. Like
Right.
I could see wider and stuff like that. And then just kind of like maintained that for like 2 years. So, and then eventually like it grew up, higher and higher. And then I just got better. I was very inspired by, I don't know if you guys follow like digital artists that much. His name is Beeple_crap. He's cool. His name is Mark Beeple. He makes a new render every day from scratch. And he's been doing it.
The is it NFTs?
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of.
I'm not worried about the NFT side, but like more like the
I
artist
think
side.
that's where I've heard his name
Yeah,
from.
of course. But I was like so encapsulated by like what he said. He's like, I just make a new render every day from scratch. And he's been doing it for like 14 years, like a new render every day. I'm
Holy
like, that's
shit.
insane. So I kind of applied that method to like when I first got my camera. I was like, I kind of like going out, taking, 100, 200 photos, and then I edit like one photo. And that's what I did. I just went out, shot every day, shot everything, came home, edited a bunch, and then post like a new photo like every day on Instagram. And then just slowly just started like snowballing, just got bigger and bigger. And I was grateful because it really like honed my skills of like how to use the camera.
Right.
What what lenses do, what editing in Lightroom, learning Photoshop, all that stuff. So it was cool just to like expand my creativity through that. So
Yeah, I think that's a good rule of thumb. That's like a nice like rule you set yourself to get better.
yeah,
That's
just
awesome.
like put yourself out there and just like force yourself to like create. So
when did you? So we went back a little bit, and this is where like very beginning stages. What happened after Top Golf to where before the Hemper job?
Oh, I just try to do like just freelance gigs. I saved up a lot of money over like summers because summers were like crazy there. So I was just putting aside money, and then eventually I was just like, it started with like one gig of like, hey, take a photo of, me. I need like some headshots. And I was like, cool, I'll try that.
Right.
And then that, like, that person recommended me to another person, to another person, to another person.
Nice.
And I was picking up more and more. And then eventually I was like, hey, I'm making like more money doing this than busting my ass 8-9 hours a day.
Right.
Sweating. Only going home with like a couple $100s. And I'm like, is this worth it? Excuse me. But I realized that I was like, oh, maybe I can turn this into like a career, or like a better job opportunity. So that's like after, I think like 2021, I think it was like summer. Yeah, because COVID happened, it came back.
Right.
And then that was even worse because we had to wear like double gloves. It's like middle of July. We're wearing face masks. There can only be like 2 people per table. So we're like just extra sweating, extra worse and all that stuff.
And every day you're like, I hate this job.
And that's when I realized, right there, I was like, maybe I should try this photography thing. Like, let me just like take the jump. And I was always very hesitant because like I'm one of those people, I don't like change that much. If I can like stay comfortable in one spot, I will. But of course,
I was gonna say, it doesn't seem like you actually stay.
That's what I'm saying. But then, once I reach like that 3-year mark or like 4-year, I'm just like, I should try something else. Like, and that's when I took the jump of like, let me try and be like a freelance photographer. And I did that. I quit, and then it was cool because for a while I was getting like consistent, gigs like 3 or 4 a week, and I was like, nice, this is cool, like snowballing. And eventually, after like 2 months, it kind of like slowed down. Okay, I was like, oh shit, what do I do? What do I do? And then that's when Sammy hit me up and was like, yo, man, your street stuff's cool. You want to try nightlife? And I was like, yes, finally, get me in. Right. I've always been like a fan of like the aesthetic of like nightlife photography. I think it's very into like dark ambient lighting scenes and moods and all that stuff. So I tried that. That was probably like September of 2021 because I quit Topgolf like I want to say like July of 2021. So it's like 2 months later. It's like 3 months later. Like hit me up, but
it's awesome.
And it was cool because it gave me the opportunity. I trained with Sammy, which was like intense. The dude's like Spider-Man in the club. I'm like, I can't keep up with you, man. How do you? Yeah. And it was a whole new scene because I didn't really go to like Vegas clubs that much before. I didn't really like care. If you like work on the strip, the last place you want to be is like on the strip on your day off. So
absolutely
in a nightclub with
in a nightclub with 5,000 people. Right. So doing that was cool. It was cool to like learn from him, and like he gave me like so many like tips and insiders, and he's like, try this, do this, and then you just jump around. I'd be like, wait, what? I forgot like the first step. I'm like a slow learner, so I have to like kind of like repeat stuff over and over. So but it was cool. And then sorry, you can keep going. I can go on for like ever.
No, you're good.
Tell my whole life story right now.
You're good. So what is your like? How is the nightlife space for you? Because like you said, you kind of came from street photography, you came from product photography, and then got thrown into that, and that's kind of like where you've been thriving, is what I would say. Like, how has that like realm been for you?
I couldn't be more happy. I'm happy with it. I like. Like I said earlier, like I like being able just to put in earplugs, run around with my camera. I know the shots I have to get already, so I can get that done in 20 minutes, not even. Right. And then wait for the headliner, whoever it is. But it's a cool environment. I've always liked the dark ambient lighting, the intimate like club people doing their thing. So it's kind of fun to like try new ways to capture it, and like apply like the street stuff I've learned of like not being afraid to like go up and take photos to like the nightclub or like see how like stuff works. And obviously like now with like in a nightclub, I'm like, oh, I need to shoot wide more. Like I can't, sometimes I can't get everything I want in like a tight photo compared to like,
Yeah, I remember I was shooting Nikon when I first started shooting nightclubs, and I would use the 14 to 24, and then I got a fish. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, that's what
There's
happens.
wider than this.
Yeah. When I started, I only had like my widest was like a 24, like 1.4, and I was like, "Oh, this is kind of cool." And then people were like, "No, you need to get like a 16 or a 15. Like you need to like." Sammy's like, "You need a fisheye. You need to get a fisheye." I was like, "Okay, I'll try and get a fisheye."
That's probably how he said it too.
Yeah.
No, that was a game changer because I remember, when I first started, when I first shot a club for Tony, he was like, what's your gear setup? What's your widest lens? And I think at the time I had like, I think it was like the 24, or maybe I had like a 14. And even then, before I got the 14, he was like, 24 is not going to cut. I was like, fuck this guy.
What do you mean?
Fuck this guy talking about. That's pretty wide for me. And then I remember getting in the club and I'm like, okay, like it's still, because you don't, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, you don't realize how wide the capabilities are limited until you shoot with that wider frame. Because I was shooting the club with like 24 to 70 and I'm like, 24 is pretty much
Yeah,
good.
I thought I was like good. I was like, oh, this is good.
I'm able to get everything you need, and then you get hit with like a 14 or a 12, and you're like, yeah. Never mind.
That's what happens. Like you reach that certain length, and you're like, whoa, a whole new door opens. Like I didn't even know. So, but yeah, I've learned a lot, and like even still, like I still learn like new things going to the club, like trying to find new angles because I know like now after like a year, I kind of have like my same 5 angles, circles I can do and stuff like that, but. So he's just trying to find like something new and exciting just to showcase to the marketing team or to myself even because I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. So
yeah, I think there's those pose challenges within themselves of like you're saying you're shooting the same venues. Like how do I keep it fresh, keep it creative each time? You know what I mean? Especially when you're there, 4 or 5 nights a week.
Yeah,
shooting the same venues.
Yeah, that's what happens. So.
Are there any other facets of photography that you would like to explore outside of nightlife photography?
I like to maybe do a couple fashion shoots one day, like high-end fashion shoots. I mean, obviously, I'd rather like piggyback off someone, like just kind of like be their assistant, just kind of see like 3 light setups work. Because like when I did like the Hemper job, it was the same thing. There was like a 3 light setup, but that was for products. So I like to try more. I really enjoy the lifestyle shoots. That was fun, like going to like a location and setting up stuff and. Eventually, like my first one was like complete ass. I didn't know what I was doing. So like that,
so was mine.
I had no training. I had like no training or like piggy bank. They were like, hey, like just shoot a bunch of this, and it was like overwhelming and like they gave us so much shit. But no, I like to try that again. And then maybe like sports photography 1 or 2 times. I mean, our dream would be like F1, but that's gonna be like that's like impossible. But I'll keep trying. Like
it's not impossible. It's coming. It's coming. Was it next year? Right?
No, it's coming this year.
November.
It's this year.
November.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the goal would be like, let me work with F1 somehow, but even so, like, I know I can get in, and that's what I'm grateful for this nightlife job because it's also a good networking job. So
absolutely,
I meet a lot of like interesting people, and they're like, oh, you do this, and then I show them my Instagram. They're like, okay, I like your vision. Like, I might use you for something later. I was like, cool. Nothing happens, but I'm like, all right, well, just keep going. Just gotta keep going. So
you're the drunk guy from last night.
You're the drunk guy. Yeah.
You're a fucking.
That's how I always meet the drunk guys. They're like, oh, I have a business. Like, I need photos. I'll fly you out. I was like, okay, and then nothing happens. I'm like, all right, well,
I don't think that's drunk.
That one's not drunk, but I'm saying in general, when you look back through photos, you're like, oh shit,
exactly.
That's the CEO, huh?
So have there been any growing pains for you yet? I mean, I know it's only been a few months since you fully, jumped headfirst into being a full-time freelancer, but is there anything that you've noticed that's different than having a secure job that you're like learning?
Being more responsible with like my money. Realizing that I don't have like a sourced income every now and then. Not that I can think of right off the bat, but
well, I mean, that's a great one. It's just being more
be more responsible and like aware of like, oh shit, I can never like, spend. I can't just spend and be like, oh, it's fine. I work Monday through Friday, so I'll be fine. It's more just like being frugal and like being like appreciative of like everything and try not to like stress too much about it sometimes. So like
that's the key.
Yeah, no stress. So what about you guys? Because I'm still learning, so like I don't know.
It's a great question. What about you, Sean?
The biggest one that comes to mind currently is time management for myself.
Okay.
Trying to juggle, like if I'm editing or if I have a few things to get done, trying to juggle that I need to find the balance between being productive, but then taking breaks. I just have really bad ADD, so.
Yeah, me too. I feel like I have some small form of ADD.
Fucking hard to.
You're the doctor.
It's hard to stay focused and get. But then also the second of that is equipment. Like sometimes I'm like, if I need to get like a faster computer or like the correct hard drive or software, Capture One versus Lightroom type of thing to speed up that time, then. But that's where I'm at. It's time management. Be the biggest one for me.
I agree with that. So
work-life balance, I gotta get a little better. It's just work.
You've been trudging through March.
Yeah, man. I always know you're just working like crazy.
Yeah,
like good for you.
Thanks.
Yeah, but then
I get super burnt out, and now I'm like, burnt out, beat up, and I'm gonna go on vacation next week, and then I'll be good. But
see, that's another thing. I haven't taken like a good vacation, and like, well, I mean, I went to New York, but. Even still, it was like the coldest time of my life, and I was still kind of miserable.
Well, yeah, what I would do, this year's, probably going to be pretty good. Hopefully,
now that I'm finally like have like consistent, income and like
Yeah.
gigs available, it's kind of nice to like get more money as well. So that's
Yeah, what I would recommend is, this year get your save up money as much as possible.
of course.
Try to get like 1 year of living expenses saved. And then then you feel a little more bulletproof.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with
That and then get really good with your taxes.
Yeah,
Like not get good with, like not get good at them, but just don't like do them properly. Don't
like understand what you're doing.
go to a
and, like,
CPA. Don't try to do them
course.
yourself on TurboTax like me.
Nope.
Yeah, I made
see,
those mistakes.
it's all things I need to learn too. So it's like that's why I'm grateful for you guys too. I can always like reach out and be like, yo,
Yeah.
what do I do?
Right.
And then
That's the whole point of this podcast.
Yeah, that's the whole
what I
point.
wanna do
Yeah,
is
that's
help
why it was
people.
great.
I mean, even in general, right? Like, because I still find myself asking certain things to certain individuals of like, oh, well, how do you do this, or why do you do it that way? And they're like, oh, I do it like this, and it's like, huh, cool.
Yeah, see, like growing up, I was always that guy. I was like, I don't like asking questions. I'd rather just figure it out on my own. But then I realized over time, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to get anywhere if I don't. I can only Google search so much shit.
Right.
I'd rather learn
Yeah.
from like someone like you guys, where I can be like, hey, what do you do with like A, B, and C? You're like, oh, do this. I'm like, cool. Or it's like, I don't know, but I could guide you to like this guy.
Yeah, I mean,
know?
the internet's a really good resource, but sometimes you're like, I know that the answer I'm looking for can just be very shortened.
Right, exactly.
And like sifting through like YouTubes and like so many articles, you're
Yeah,
like,
that's what happens.
dude, just give me the fucking answer.
yeah, give me straight to the point.
Give me straight to my answer versus like all these other
a 25-minute
possibilities.
YouTube video, and I just need like the last like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, fuck, I think I just forgot it.
it's all
Oh
good.
no, what I was gonna
come
say
on.
was I get insecure about asking questions.
Yeah,
So
that was my
especially
thing too.
with asking for help, I get insecure, and then also while I'm on jobs, if I don't get enough information from the client, I get insecure that I'm asking too many questions.
I'm learning that now too. It's like,
But it's if you don't ask, you're not
No,
gonna be told,
you're-
and then you're gonna miss it. So I just try to like I worked with I worked with like a comedian a couple weeks ago, and I was talking to them directly, and then I was like, I wanted to ask them another question. I was like, oh, like that's. So, there's no stupid questions. It's like, fuck
There
it.
really isn't,
Who
no.
gives a fuck? Just ask. And I asked, and then I got the answer. I was like, oh, cool.
yeah, you know what inspired me was that interview guy from Canada, Nardwar, Serviette.
Yeah,
you heard
dude,
of him?
the human serviette.
Fucking so cool.
Have I heard of him?
Yeah,
I studied his work.
I know.
Yeah.
Like I watched this TED talk, and he's like, the only thing he says is like, just ask. Like that's all you gotta do. Just ask. There's
Are
no
you not
right or right.
familiar?
No, of course not. That's
Oh,
why I
okay,
was like,
okay.
yeah, I thought we were all familiar with
Yeah.
War.
No, I was
Yeah.
like whenever you guys knew, and you guys knew right away.
Oh,
which is,
absolutely. He's the man.
like,
I mean, it's
took-
been a while. I probably haven't seen one of his videos in like probably like 8
he
years.
doesn't post that much anymore, surprisingly.
I mean, I feel like he's fucking talked to everyone.
Yeah,
on
I
the
feel like he's
planet.
talking to like everybody.
He
so.
posts pretty consistently on Instagram.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
I don't follow him on Instagram.
Okay.
I usually wait for like YouTube.
That's where I get all of
YouTube
his
recommendations. I'm like, oh, new
Yeah.
Nardwar, okay. But it's like usually with like people I never heard about. I'm like, oh, I don't really.
Yeah,
care,
hard to-
whatever.
Click on it when you're like,
Yeah, but like his whole TED Talk thing was like great about just
Mhm.
like, it all started with like just him asking like a question like, hey, can I interview this person? The person's like, yeah, come on, and just got bigger and bigger, and I'm like, that's so easy. And that's the
Yeah.
thing I couldn't get over, like that mental aspect of like, I don't want to like fucking say something stupid or like ask the wrong question, and I realized just
Exactly.
gotta ask straight up.
I feel like, and I know it's like been said before, it's like the only dumb question is the one you don't ask or whatever. But
Right.
I feel like, especially on a shoot, like whether it's with a client or whatever, I feel like no one's gonna get mad that you're asking too many questions.
No, of course not.
If it's like obviously if you're like, well, I don't know how my camera
Well, I think
turns
some
on.
people.
Like,
I think very few people will, but you got to just even push through that
Yeah,
because
of
it's
course.
like you're being hired to do a job. And if
Oh, when I
you-
started nightlife, it took me like a month to like approach girls and be like, "Can I take your photo?"
right.
well, that's
I would
hard.
just like,
that's
I would
hard.
just hold
I
up
think
the
that's
camera.
much harder.
Yeah, I would point. I'd be like, like I wouldn't even like say anything, and they'd be like, "Yeah," and I would take the photo and just run away. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was so like shy and nervous and awkward.
Well,
and,
that's
like,
that's different. I think that,
Yeah,
'cause
true.
that happens to everybody.
Yeah.
That's
your
I'm more
approach-
socially.
Yeah, if you're a male or female approaching a good-looking male or female,
yeah.
you're like, yeah.
Yeah,
But I'm saying more
exactly.
like putting your foot down, like really like asking clients, like, hey, I need more information.
Right.
What do you need from me?
Yeah, now that I'm realizing that too, like I have a pretty cool gig this weekend I'm excited about. So
What do you got? Drop it on us.
Do tell.
here we go, Peppermint Hippo Strip Club.
Nice.
Yeah, it's their 1 year anniversary. No, but the way like all right, let me explain. The way it was cool was like she reached out to me on Instagram. She's like, "Hey, I want to hire you for this.
Yeah.
It's our 1 year anniversary. Come through."
Nice.
I was like, "Okay, give me a shot list." It's like, let me know what you need shots of. If there's any like brands or like sponsors. And then she was just she sent me like 9 photos off my Instagram, and I was just like, oh, okay, just like I get to do my own thing. I was like, awesome, great.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool, like realizing like, oh, okay, she just wants me to like do my own thing.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, like that's like. I
So
love that
what do you?
environment,
So you shoot the 1 year anniversary. So it's like an event.
Yeah, I
Nice.
guess so, but we'll see.
Nice. I'm concerned
And
about
it's,
lighting.
Oh, it's gonna be so dark.
That's what I'm thinking. It's gonna be so dark,
It's gonna be
right?
so dark. I mean, I just.
And are they gonna be titties? Because you
I was gonna
probably
say, 'cause
can't
it's
get
a strip
titties.
club.
Yeah, I don't know.
She
I'll
said
figure
shoot
it out.
around the titties.
Well, I'm there for 4 hours, so I know within like.
You're gonna see titty. You're a strip club.
Yeah. Well, I've been there once for like the opening because like a couple of my old coworkers
For
were there.
research.
You don't gotta
You know,
explain.
A couple of my coworkers were there. They were working, and I was like, "Hey, good to see you." no, they were like servers and bartenders, but I went in there. I was like, "Oh, it's kind of small and very dark."
Yeah.
Is it really dark? Yeah.
Yeah, and then like they asked me before, and I kind of was like, "No, not right now." I was like, "Oh, I'm busy with nightlife. I can't do it right now." But
And they're like, funny thing is,
So-
we're nightlife.
yeah,
That's a good point as well. Is saying yes to every job you can and getting out of your comfort zone.
Yeah,
I think that's another
thing.
big recommendation I could do for. I mean, I still do it now to this day, but especially when you're starting out.
Oh,
you know?
for sure.
Yeah, starting out, but it also it doesn't have to be starting out too, because like there's certain things that like how am I trying to get these thoughts out? Yeah, just stepping out of your comfort zone. Like
Yeah.
like I've been shooting quite a bit of video recently, and I'm really comfortable with that. But then a client of mine that was referred to me was like, "Oh, it's more like I have like a talking piece with lifestyle," and so that was kind of like a switch. It was like a little bit of like lifestyle, like cool, cinematic, but then they're also talking in
Mixing in the interview behind
exactly,
it.
kind of mixing it in.
Okay.
And so
I hate to break it to you, it's actually a lot easier than you think. I
well,
think
it was easy, but I
Yeah.
didn't know that it was gonna be that, so I
Yeah.
didn't have like lavs or any. I just had my shotgun mic, and so of course I'm picking up.
you didn't have the labs.
I didn't have the fucking thanks, Jesse. No, but so anyway, little things like that. Like I can do it. It's easy.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
shooting video, but it's the little details that are gonna separate me from somebody else. Of like,
course.
having that mic to get crisp audio of this talking piece.
Yeah.
And I could have said no from the jump type of thing to been like, oh well, maybe I'm
You
not
felt
the
a
guy.
little, yeah.
You know,
Yeah, you feel like you're underprepared, but you don't know till you try, kind of thing. But,
Yeah, I spoke to a friend of mine about the same exact thing. Like he said no to an event, and then now that person never hits him up for these events.
yeah, that's what
'Cause he
happens.
doesn't really
Like the
do
door could
events.
just close. so.
Exactly. And I think too, when you're first starting out, there's no reason, unless it's like really, really like horrible money or they're a really bad client.
Right.
I think there's no reason. Like I always said to myself, like if I'm gonna have the opportunity to shoot this stuff, I might as well say yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Because this is my dream.
I mean, I think the only area that's like is like off limits is like a wedding, right? Like, don't shoot someone's wedding if you're not sure.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
start second shooting. Like,
Well, I agree for most of the time. But now if it's like your cousin, he's like, hey man, I don't really have a ton of money. Would you like to come and just bring your
Yeah, of
camera?
course.
Maybe you can get your foot in the door with a
Right.
very with like a very low
risk.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I've been asked to shoot a couple weddings, and I'm just like, no, like that's your special day. Like, hire someone good. Here, I can like recommend you
Right.
to like a few people,
See, yes.
and then that's why I'm like, oh, maybe I should like learn.
you should ask
like-
somebody to be a second shooter at a wedding
Yeah.
so you can learn.
I'll try it like 1 or 2 times, but
I think you would actually love it.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what
The
I'm saying.
wedding
You never
is
know.
a little annoying when you have to deal with the family, but when you're a second shooter, all the pressure's off, man. And he's like,
Oh, yeah,
because
you
the
don't gotta
main
worry
person
about-
does it, you just kind of like hang out and
capture
get
like good
candid.
moments. Yeah,
yeah.
See, that's my thing. Candid
Everyone's in
moments
a
for
good
sure.
mood. They're drinking.
I mean, technically, that's
yeah.
what street photography is. Just
Exactly.
candid moments in public places.
Right.
Yeah,
like,
that's all it is.
And yeah, I just, it's funny you guys bring that up because I second shot for Ashley the other day. She needed a hand, and I was there for 4 hours, and like, I felt like I wasn't doing anything. She was like, oh, I got this. I'm like, oh, did you get details upstairs? And then it's like, did you get this? She's like, oh, just get candids of the guests at cocktail hour while I grab, the family ones.
Yeah,
so
of
I went
course.
upstairs, I'm doing candids, and then I'm just like, did you get this? She's like, oh yeah, I don't care. What, did you get this? She's like, yeah, I already got that. And I was like, I'm like freaking out because I'm like, I feel like I'm not doing enough. But if you're cool, then I feel
Yeah,
good. I
that's
got what you
cool.
want. But like, what I'm getting at is like, that's a very good way because there's not as much pressure, but you
course.
still can get like those building blocks to be like, this is a fast paced environment. And
Yeah.
especially for you, you've come from nightlife, so you know, like those fast paced,
Yeah,
like,
now that I know, like, all right, I know how to like, if someone needs a photo, like, okay, let's go do it right now.
Right.
Let's get it over with. I know what to do. Especially like if there's like a certain marketing guy there who's like, okay, let's like knock out these 5 photos we need.
right.
So now it's super easy. And now I'm like trying to apply that more to like lifestyle shoots that I was doing like at Hemper, where I was like, okay, I need to get close up shots of like the product, or I need like more people like holding the product with their hands, or
Right.
like I didn't know these things because once Joe left, I was like, oh shit, all right, I'm on my own. I'll figure it out. So, but No, always always willing to try new things just to like expand my creativity and my palette more, and just
It's good.
it's always good to have like just a
And
little
you're
bit of
also
everything.
you're also expanding your bank account options.
Yeah,
potentially
true.
As well, like
Yeah.
I think I think why I stay so busy is because I could shoot everything for the
course.
most part. You
Yeah.
know? So I think that's a good thing, and I learned that from Al. Al shoots
Right.
everything. You know, all the people we look up to shoot everything, and I think it's a great thing. And like obviously there are some little things that I would like to get better at,
Right.
and I feel like other people are a lot better at it than me because they might focus on that.
Right.
So that I want to like take some time to get better at that as well. But staying busy is good.
Yeah, that's the
You
main
know,
thing. Just like staying
financially
busy.
stable
Right.
right
Yeah.
now.
Now that I'm like financially comfortable for like, first time in my life, I'm like, oh my God, I have like freedom and resources now to like try new things and
Right.
get more equipment and like also
Absolutely.
like apply more. Like eventually I probably like want to get into like nice lighting setup eventually, but that's like a couple years.
It's a
down the
deep
line.
hole, Sam.
I know.
It's a deep
I
hole.
know. I hear about it too, and I'm like,
And it's
maybe.
not the fun hole.
Fucking
No.
I'm just kidding.
yeah, it's a fun hole. I mean, I'm not much of like a shopper, but I realize I spend a lot of money on equipment, and I'm like, well,
You know, I was gonna say, yeah.
I'm not much of a shopper. No,
Yeah, we camera stuff shopper.
camera stuff. Now we're
Shopper in
talking.
general.
Yeah,
Compete,
now like
yeah.
now I have a film camera, and now it's just like all my money's going to film.
Yeah.
Oh my God, film's expensive, dude.
But that's why you need to segue like I did, and you get paid to shoot film. That way, you're not fucking stressed.
exactly. Yeah,
Because
exactly.
fuck that, I ain't spending that money. On
It's so expensive.
I mean, but the cool thing too is if you buy film stuff, it's still camera stuff, so you
Yeah,
can
it's still
still
camera
write
stuff.
it off.
right.
Of course. And it expands my palette.
Yeah.
People see my shit, and I'm like, oh, I do this with film. They're like, oh, I like that style. It's like, cool, I can do that.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to do at the strip club. Try to do some film stuff. I'm like, we'll see. We'll see.
Find the balance between doing enough that you need, but then also
Of course.
expand that little bit. Because like what I'm
Yeah.
saying is like get the digital stuff. Like you said, you got your shot list or lack of in this case, right? Get
Yeah,
that,
very
and
lack
then
of.
if you have time, like I could pop off a couple film. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I could kind of ease that in.
Yeah, because I'm one of those guys, like, I just want to get all the work done, as, like, as quick as possible, as, efficient as possible. And then I have, like, that free time of, like, okay, now I can try some stuff that I want to try.
Yeah, and
Right,
get creative.
Yeah, get creative. So
Yeah.
that's, like, the main thing.
That's nice. I feel like I do get into quite a bit of a rut where I'm just like, I gotta get what I gotta get here. Client's happy, cool. Boom, boom, in and
Boom, boom,
out.
in and
Not
out.
really getting too creative. I mean, recently I have been, but yeah, when I'm busy, I feel like I can get in the rut of just like, oh, like why? am
Oh, do
I-
you just, like, go
I'm
and
just
work and then just
working?
leave kind of thing? Is that, like,
I mean, yeah, because it's the most efficient thing to do.
right? Yeah. Yeah, efficient is,
Yeah,
like,
if I can leave earlier and get to another job,
yeah, there's,
or go
yeah,
home and
if
eat.
you have, like, another jobs or other stuff,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Now I'm usually the opposite. I end up loitering longer than I need to
Yeah.
sometimes, and I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, I'm
I'm
still
that
maybe
same
there's
way.
something, and then it's
Yeah.
that 1 in a million chance that like something happens, and you're like, good thing I fucking stayed that extra 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So then I'm just never get out of that hole.
It's like,
So I'm
I'm sure you guys see my work with, like, people kissing in the nightlife.
Yeah.
I'll run around the club, like, 5 times. I was like, come on, someone make out.
Yeah.
Where are they at? I'm like, I look so creepy. I'm like, holding my camera. I was like, where are they at? Where are they
Who's
at?
making
I
out
was
in
like,
this
who's making out?
beautiful
funny that you photograph that.
chandelier.
Yeah, it's
Most
weird.
of the times when I see it, I'm like, because they're usually
That's good. That's
yeah,
what I like. That's what I
dude,
like.
that's funny that you bring
I'm
that
usually
up.
like visibly, everybody around me can see,
Falling
like,
over, yeah.
Well, I was inspired by like a nightlife photographer in Montreal. His name's Karel Schladek. I'm probably butchering his name, but
Sounds like
that's where like I saw it, and then that's when like nightlife hit me up. Like, you want to try this? And I like saw his photo, and I was like, oh, I can probably
Blend
make
'em.
Vegas. Like, how can I incorporate Vegas in that stuff? So, for like the first like 3 months, I was loving it. I was trying to find like people everywhere making out or like whatever, just being into.
I mean, I bet you could find that pretty easily on Craigslist.
You could find love on Craigslist,
You
Sam.
find
You
love.
can find people making
Yeah,
out.
but is it
Take
is it
pictures
in a
of-
nightclub? Is it in a nightclub though? Yeah.
So speaking of Vegas, where are you from and how long have you been here?
So I was made in Canada, Toronto, but I grew up. No, I
I was conceived.
yeah,
You were, yeah.
but I only lived there for like 4 years, so it was like from 1994.
doesn't even
I know.
fucking count, dude.
I know people always are like, "Oh, dude, you're American."
Yeah.
Well, do you have dual citizenship?
No, I have a green card. I'm still full.
Oh shit.
Yeah, green card, alien card. So when I apply
So
for
he
jobs,
is still Canadian.
yeah. I'm in no rush to like be a U.S. citizen. I don't really.
Yeah.
Maybe dual citizen someday, but still, I'm not
Yeah.
really like. That's not my main.
Oh, so then
focus
you're
right
still
now.
definitely Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
So
100%.
people are talking shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because people are like, "Oh, you grew up here most of your life." People thought I've only lived here for like 5 years. No, I've been in Vegas for like 20 years. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I went to high school here and all that. So
So you moved. So you're in Toronto for 4 years. And then
Toronto
you
4
moved-
years, and then 95 to 2002 was Phoenix. My dad got like a job offer, and like And my dad like hated the cold. So he was like, "Oh, cool, we're gonna move into
Fuck
Phoenix."
Canada.
Yeah, basically,
It's a good contrast.
yeah, a whole like different polar opposite. And then, so that was 2002 came here, and then been here ever since. So
And did you guys come here with your dad as well?
Yeah.
He moved.
yeah. I think my dad had like a midlife crisis in 2002 and was like, "I want to become a dealer." And then he went to dealer school and all that. And then, of course, his job's like, "We'll pay you more. You can work from home." And he's like, "All right." So I was like, "Okay."
So you're one of the stereotypes, dude. You're one of the stereotypes that were like people that live in Vegas think that their dad's a blackjack dealer and their mom's a showgirl. So
Yeah.
you're half that right there.
Close. But no, yeah, Vegas is pretty much majority of my life. So long time. I like it here though. I love it here. It's a cool town.
Do you see yourself living here like forever? Or is there anything that like?
Yeah, yes and no. But for like I don't like plan ahead. I don't have like a 5-year plan. I just kind of go like maybe like 2 year. I'm like, all right, I'll do this for like 2 years, see what happens. But I mean, down the line, I mean, obviously, like I love to live in like New York. New York's like, you know, street mecca, heaven for like street photography. But I like to like do more travel stuff. Like I'd love to like you know, go to like Japan, Tokyo, Paris, France,
Tokyo would be
Portugal,
sick.
Spain.
Tokyo would be sick.
Now that I'm finally like making, you know, good funds, I'm like, oh, I can go there now.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
excited. So
And your schedule, you're like, oh, I could do this and then
take off a week and
right.
then yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's just I don't know, it's down the line, but we'll see. Obviously, like my goal, like if I retire, I mean, when I retire, I want to be like in the
If you
woods.
retire.
If I retire,
That's
I don't
how
know.
I feel. I'm like,
That's how
I don't know if
feel,
I'll
like, I
even
don't know.
make it that far.
We'll see what happens in like 5 years.
Yeah.
You know, it could be like, oh, retirement age is 79. You're like, great.
It just keeps moving.
Yeah, it just keeps moving up. But like, long story short, I would love to live like in the cabins, somewhere in the forest, like in a cabin in the
Ooh,
forest somewhere. Like,
Very secluded.
I love like nature stuff still. But yeah, just like
There's not much street photography in the woods.
He could still do landscape.
I also do
okay.
landscape stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
after you shoot Vegas streets like 1,000 times, you're kind of like,
I was gonna say the Vegas streets are not that big.
no, it's not
So-
that big. And that's when you gotta like, all right, maybe we'll try more stuff. And every
Eventually,
now and then
yeah.
when I go to like Red Rock or Valley of Fire, I'm like, oh, this is a nice like refreshment.
Right.
Like, this is great, and it's so close to each other too. So
Yeah, it's not a far drive at all.
exactly.
What are some of your pet peeves as a freelance photographer, or do you even have any?
He doesn't have any yet.
I don't have any yet. No. I mean, I don't know, like just like the usual difficult like clients every now and then, but I can't really like think of any off the top of my head. I'm sure if you guys said one, I'd be like, oh yeah, that one. I don't like that either, but I don't really have any like too many pet peeves.
Yeah, I don't really have any too many
mean-
pet peeves either.
No, not really.
I don't think Sean does either.
No, nothing.
Yes,
really.
I have a laundry list now. I got a
Laundry
few.
list.
My biggest one is just always like the vague of like, yo, what are your rates? And you're like, well, what am I shooting? When? That's it. But
Oh, here's a new pet peeve.
ooh,
Well,
a new one.
it actually just happened this morning.
New
Somebody
list.
calls me, doesn't text me or leave me a voicemail.
Oh, you rather get like texts?
No. They called me and I'm
gotcha.
like, I don't know this number. I'm not going to answer.
Oh,
and
right.
then they
Don't
just
think of random
don't
numbers.
send me a text or a voicemail to explain what's going on.
It's like
Yeah.
it's a Vegas number too or something or
This one was 305
Oh,
Miami.
nice.
That was Miami, right?
Miami. There you go. Yeah, usually I don't like that either. Random calls or like.
That's my biggest pet peeve. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, just fucking text
Just let me know why you called, because
Or
like if
usually
you,
like or like last minute people. I don't like people that are like, oh, can I hire you like tomorrow? And I'm like,
Yeah.
what? I need like at least
Can I
like
hire
3
you
days.
like 2 hours?
Yeah, hey, I need someone like ASAP.
yeah, I just got a DM yesterday. It was like, yo, I'm renting a Lambo in the desert, and I was like, yeah,
yeah.
Cool,
I'm
man.
out of town, bud. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, here, reach out to these people.
Yeah.
Or I think another thing too. I finally have one. When people like
Go, let's hear it.
offer like they offer me my services, but they don't tell me about it. They just say like, I know a guy. Instead of like reach out to me first. Be like, hey, is it cool if I like send you this guy?
Mm-hmm.
Instead
Oh,
of,
yeah.
Instead they're just like, hey, I know a guy and he's available like this through this. And I'm like, oh, like you know my schedule too, dude. Okay.
No, you
And I'm
always
like,
go,
fuck.
hey, dude, do you want to take this on, or I'll put
Yeah,
you
I'd
in
rather like
touch.
reach out to you first and be like, hey, is it cool if I send you a client?
Right.
Like this is what they want. Let me know. I mean, every now and then I'll still be like, oh, I know like 3 people. Here they are. But I'd
Right.
rather like ask them first, make sure like they're not busy or like they're okay with it. Cause I don't know, they could be cheap.
No,
or,
I don't
like-
do that at all. I just send people. If they say, hey, are you available for this? I'm like, nope. hit up these people.
Oh yeah.
Because it's more time out of my.
Yeah, it's more like it's more
Yeah.
easier.
It
It's
depends the
convenient, too.
situation. Like if I don't know them, like if I don't know who's hitting me up, then I'll just be like, here, reach out to Sam and Mike. But if it
Right.
is someone that I know and I'm like, hold on, let me put you in touch with Sam,
Right,
Mike.
exactly.
Sam, you available? Then I'll go back.
Yeah, I don't like being
That's a good
middleman
point.
too much, but like every now, I
because
just
you're like,
want
what
to be
the
like respectful and be
Well,
like,
unless like you're subcontracting it, then you middleman it. But if
Yeah,
I'm
true.
not, if I'm just alley ooping it to the homie,
Yeah.
like you,
Here you go.
yeah,
You
that's
figure
fair.
it out. Yep.
Yeah.
yeah, you guys figure it out for me.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna sit there and go back and be like, well, Mike's available this date, and what do you need, and what's your? It's like,
I only do that for like you said, previous clients,
right.
oh, okay.
because then you're helping them out.
Yeah, I like to help out like certain friends that are like kind of starting up and like, oh, I need more gigs. I was like,
Right.
okay, I know.
Well, it's like a
person.
client that you use, but I'm
True,
booked,
true.
and I'm just want to give it to a friend of mine.
Oh,
Like,
gotcha.
I'll find somebody for you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because then they're more inclined to still keep you. You know,
Who
in their
keeps
Rolodex.
hitting my foot, dude? What's going on here?
Oh, me.
Footsies over here.
We're getting
Some nice shoes, by the way, man. Those are clean.
Oh,
Yours,
nice.
yeah.
I appreciate it.
Mike's making the big bucks.
Where are those New Balances at, bro? Come on.
They're over there. I'm in my house. I don't
Yeah,
wear
no, you're
shoes in my
comfy, you're
house.
comfy.
Mike.
Yeah, I don't know if I
Sam?
should have like took off my shoes or not.
You're good.
No, these are new. I just got these. We're
Dude,
good.
we used to wear shoes on
We
the
used
podcast
to wear
all
shoes
the
on the
time.
pod. I know that was
Yeah,
part of
I
our
love
thing.
your guys' like first couple episodes because it was just like these chairs and just so close and then like,
Oh, the first
the first like
in
5
my
or
office.
6. Yeah,
Yeah.
it just looks so compressed. It looked,
Fucking awkward in those chairs,
yeah,
dude.
that's why I'm like I can read body language sometimes with people. I'm like, this looks like kind of awkward, but you know, but like, you're starting off like it's not gonna be perfect your
No,
first like
we're
5
still
times.
not fucking.
Well, yeah, it's
shit.
all like you know, of
I still have no idea what we're doing.
course,
Yeah.
just wing it.
So, what kind of camera do you have?
I have a Sony A7R3 mirrorless.
Nice.
Love it.
Very cool.
It's fun.
Is that Is there any like? Do you love Sony? I guess I should start with.
Yeah, because I was like started on Canon. That was like my first camera. It was like Canon T6.
Ooh, the Rebel.
Yeah, the Rebel. So I started
Classic.
on that. Then I guess like I just saw all the hype online about mirrorless, and I was like, I'll just jump on that train. And had a Sony like A7, the first series. Did that for like a year and a half. Then I was like, let me upgrade. Then I got the A7R3, and I was like, whoa, this shit is crazy. Like I love this. Like I never had like a good high price camera
Right.
with all these like
Yeah, like
features.
full frame.
Yeah, full frame with all these features. I don't know what they do half the time, but I'm like, I'll figure it out. Like,
I know
read
two of
I
these
read the
buttons.
manuals every now and then. I'm like, okay, I'll get it. You know,
Yeah.
University of YouTube helps, but
Yeah.
but it's cool. And now I want to upgrade again, but
To the
A1. But that's a
Oh.
fucking
You've been talking to Sam?
7. What's
Alpha.
up?
You've been talking to Sammy?
Yeah, I'm talking to Sam about it.
Alpha.
Of course, he's like, you should get it, bro. Get it with a 15 millimeter fish. You know,
You know why he got it?
Why?
It's because of me
Oh, really?
and Joe Janet. And then do you know why I got a Pro Body? It's because of Joe Janet.
So it'll
Yeah.
just like.
But you guys are
passes down.
Canon.
Well, no, just a Pro Body. In
Oh, you were
general.
just
the
like,
A1 and the R3. I got a 1DX Mark II as my first like Pro Body,
Gotcha.
and then Joe convinced me. I was like, oh my god, this is
So you're
amazing.
saying like I never heard like pro body before. Like what's like?
Yeah, so like their
At least lingos.
their flagship
Gotcha.
camera body
Gotcha.
would be like the highest one that they make,
Right.
in layman's terms. But then I convinced Sam like 2 years ago to get it, and then even
Right.
to this day he'll like late at night he'll text me like, dude, thank you again so much for
Yeah.
convincing me to do this.
Right.
So now hopefully Sam convinces you.
Yeah, definitely.
Because dude, it pays for itself. You know,
That's what I'm saying. Like it's such a big like,
Immediately.
budget, but I'm like, you know what, it'd be worth it for like what I do. And
Yeah.
like
Especially in the night, like
I
yeah.
definitely like I definitely want to dabble into some video.
any sort of low
eventually, too.
light stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, I was telling I was
Well,
shooting-
yeah, I'm sorry. You too. You just
Yeah.
got the R3. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
they
it.
they fucking know. They know.
I
Insane
know,
camera.
but yeah, you're in
Insane
the same. Yeah.
But yeah, because I was shooting with Ashley today, and she's still on Nikon. She had like the 750 or whatever, and DSLR, and I was telling her the same thing. I was like, dude, mirrorless, like you don't have to go to Canon or Sony, whatever. I was like,
Right.
but the DSLR to mirrorless jump is insane. She's like, really? And I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
like
it's
even
insane.
the
You're
through
gonna be
the
upset at yourself that you didn't switch sooner, or Ashley.
that's what I was telling her.
Yeah.
She's like, well, I'm so invested. I got 3 bodies. I was like, just get rid of it
Right,
all,
exactly.
sell it all, and
Yeah.
and go mirrorless.
The longer she waits, the more
It's the worst.
depreciation it
Yep,
is.
the
Right.
worst it's gonna get. Yeah, I went to did the trading event at BNC today, and they rake you over the coals, but at least they take everything.
Oh, I
Well,
bet.
it
I was
depends
thinking
on
about
what you're
going to
doing.
Well, I sold that the EF 24 to 70 2.8, which online could have got like 11 for it.
What'd you get? Like
6.
that. Wow.
Yeah.
Ripped.
Yeah.
That was because I took it in a bunch of stuff and I upgraded the lens and a few things, but that was like the one thing I made sure to ask him. I was like, hey, what's the breakdown? What'd you guys give me for the
Yeah, you gotta
lens? And he
ask,
was
yeah.
like, 630, and I was like, damn. I was like,
Like,
whatever.
oh, we got robbed.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
Well, so yes, the same thing happened to me because I traded in a 16-35 to get the 15-35, and they gave me like $900, and that was like a year ago. I was like, what? I was like, whatever. But if you want to take in a body that has like a million actuations on it, they don't check it, so that's when you get over on them.
right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know
but
that.
then if you set, because I think it's MPS is who does it.
Yeah.
But if I sent in a camera with 800,000 actuations, and they quoted me at this much, and then they read the actuations when it got delivered, and then they knocked it down in half.
Oh my god.
So it's better to do it in person. You can kind of get a little.
yeah, because they're just
kinda
gonna put it in
freestyle.
their computer. They're gonna go on eBay and then just be like, okay, this is kind of what it's going for.
Yeah, and they're not going to read the metadata and be like, how
Right.
many actuations are on this
Gotcha.
body?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's good to know. Okay.
Yeah.
Little
Also,
things.
Also, another tip for the trading events, that the cash for cameras at BNC, if you go on Friday, there's no line.
yeah, they don't.
I thought it was on weekends.
Exactly.
They advertise it on Saturday, Sunday,
Oh,
but
but
if
they
you go
start
on Friday,
It's like the
Really?
locals.
it's like an unknown locals thing. There's
okay.
no
Oh, like they're like there like a day early or something like that. Or
yeah.
just,
Wh-
that's kinda cool.
So there's no lines. That's the pro is that there's no lines because it's like you only know as if you've been there before, or you
Yeah,
just
what they're
happen to
open
be in store like a day or two before. They'll tell you, hey, come in Friday.
Oh, okay.
There's no lines. The con is like if you're trying to talk to like any of the like sales reps,
The reps.
they don't go until Saturday. Like if you're talking, I want to
Gotcha.
talk to a Sigma rep or
Gotcha.
Canon rep.
I
but
see.
If you're trying to get rid of some shit,
That's
Friday.
good to know. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I'll
Yeah.
do that next time. Well, they only do it like twice a year. I'll probably forget, and then it'd be like fall or something. I'd be like, oh yeah, I think someone said something about
did
Friday.
it. Yeah, so they'll do it again towards like October, November.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely. Maybe the Sony A2 will be out. I don't know. That's what Sammy said. He's like, wait for the A2, and I was like,
Yeah, at
this
this
will be like
point.
next year, man. Like I guarantee it. I'm in no rush though, so I still love my body, so I can't like complain.
What lenses do you have?
So I have 24-70 first series, 85, all native by the way, so all Sony. 85 1.8, 24 1.4, 35 1.4. I just got the 50 1.2, insane.
Nice.
1635.
Do you have a good set?
Yeah,
of
you have a
glasses?
I pretty much
Okay.
like
Plethora.
everything, like 16 to 85. So
Oh, I'd get a 7200 then next.
I know that was my next. I don't know if I want to do 12 to 24 or 70 to 200, but I'm thinking 70 to 200.
Yeah, because you said you have a fisheye, right?
Oh, just 1630. I don't have a fisheye.
Oh, but
I
you're
don't have like
16
an actual, but like my 16's
Wide.
pretty
yeah.
wide. But
I would do 70-200.
oh, really?
If it were me,
That's
yeah.
two people.
No, 100%.
100%.
Yeah, you have.
You
some-
already
Because
have all those.
I've shot my friends 70-200 in the club, and I was like, oh, this is kind of this is cheating.
Ask Sammy.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he was late.
Sammy
He was
gonna
late
say
to the 70-200 too, right?
When he got
I'm
one,
super late. Yeah.
when he got one, he was like, guys, it's like, this is insane. I can't believe and he's like, first of all, I can't believe you guys would let me borrow your 7200. He's
Right.
like, he's like, I'm not letting anybody touch this.
yeah,
It's so
I remember
expensive.
saying that before.
He's like, it's like $3,000. And then, yeah, and he's like, I can't believe I didn't get it sooner.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's good to
that's
know.
like a staple lens for any event type thing.
That's good for me too, because I'm usually like in the back, just hanging out most of the time.
Those are where those like, especially like,
Those candid moments,
especially Omnia because it's bigger,
Right,
that you
exactly.
can hit DJ straight on.
oh
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
from like the very back table.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah,
and just
it's a good
get
idea.
like that DJ there. And
See,
it's
my
like,
mind's thinking like, oh, I need to be like as wide as possible. Like I want to be able
but
to
you got
see.
that. You
I
already
have that.
crushed all those. At the end
Yeah,
of the
but I
night.
want like that extra 4 millimeters of like wideness. But realistically, 7200 would probably be a smarter purchase for me.
And just in general, if you
So.
do like, you pick up like any sporting event, any conference.
yeah, that's another thing
gig,
too. Yeah,
I use that thing all the time.
Yeah.
that's definitely my
7200.
next purchase.
Yeah.
Done.
But you mentioned last time I saw you, you mentioned that you wanted to start to get into more video.
Yeah.
Is that because that's just something like creative you want to do, or is that like for demand? Like, are you getting hit up for like
a little bit of both, but
Okay.
mostly I would say like 80% demand, 20% like, I just want to try it. A
Okay.
lot of people I talk to, especially like in the nightlife, they're like, do you do video? Do you do video? Do you do video? And I'm like, no.
Right.
But eventually, like, I definitely want to like dabble over here
Yeah.
and there. Just do like just simple.
Have you started since I saw you? What 2 weeks ago, type of thing?
Oh yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Have
I
you
think, yeah.
stared or dabbled in anything or?
No, just
Okay.
I just do like iPhone video or something like that. Just little things like that, like here and there. I don't know. I don't think the R3 is really good for. Well, the Sony R3 is not really good for like video mostly. I think it does do video, but I don't know. I don't jack shit about video, like quality settings, all that stuff. But eventually, I just want to like try some things,
Right.
just like dabble here and there, stuff like that. Because then I was talking to the other nightlife guy, that Carol guy from Montreal. He's like, yeah, I just do like video clips every now and then too,
Right.
because he shoots for like 2 DJs as well. So, and he's like, yeah, I just give him raw clips, and I was like, I think I could do that. That'd be easy.
I think I could do raw.
I could just do some easy raw clips, nothing like crazy or anything like that. Obviously, there's people out there to do like crazy transitions and like take like 50 video clips and make like a whole like 15-second reel or something like that.
But you just gotta dissect it and start small. And if you're already
of course,
if you're already shooting like the street stuff or the nightclub, and you've gotten your shots, you feel good, switch over to video and just get a few things, and then start small. Like I'm just gonna focus on a 15-second clip of like people walking by slow and just getting like the neon flicker, or like in the club, same thing.
Yeah, just like
you don't
try
have to be like
things.
fucking transition ninja and like, oh, I want to fucking
See, when I first started, I was like, I only want to do photos, and then after like 2 years, I was like, okay, maybe I'll try some video here and there, and then I did video, and I was like, I don't like it. I'll do photos again.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, I gotta like try and stay consistent with it as much as I can, just to like expand and like, maybe and then eventually when clients are coming like, oh, you do video, I can say like, oh yeah, I can just offer like a basis, be like, I just do this type of video. I don't really do like high end gimbal drone FPV
start
stuff.
small.
Yeah, just start small. So.
Yeah, when I was on when I had Nikon for photo and then Sony for video, I hated the video part.
Right.
Just because I was like, at first I was like, I don't get it yet. Like it's not for me. It's not clicking. But after a while, I'm like, okay, it does start to kind of click. But maybe
I feel like I just need to reach, like you said, I just need to reach like that click point where I'm like, okay, this isn't that bad.
It just comes with like I think it just also comes with practice. You get more comfortable and you're like, okay, like I know what I'm doing now, You
do video?
Yeah, I do a little bit.
Oh, really?
Maybe like 10%.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. Unfortunately, I'm busy enough to where I don't have the necessity to have to take on the video work. But I would like to put more time and energy into it. But then I'm presented with the conundrum of, do I like stop doing like some photo work to then do more video work? And then I do the video work. And I'm like, oh, I really love photography. So,
right.
Yeah, it's just
and that's how I feel now. People are like starting to see like my work and my vision. They're like, oh, I like your photos. Like let's just stick with that. I'm like, cool. I just want to kind of like stay in that realm still.
Yeah, and I feel like my photography's here, my videography's here.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can put more time into video and get this up. But then my photo is going to stay in the same spot.
Right.
Or I could just keep getting better at photography.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel comfortable enough to where like like an event recap. Like a corporate event recap, an interview, that stuff I could do video for. But like, like an overnight edit, like festival recap or nightclub recap, there's people that can do it way better than me. I'd rather just stick to the photo with that type of thing. Yeah, but then if I have a corporate client that I'm already booked for, like, oh, can you do video too? And I could just upcharge a little bit more and make some more money off that. I'm like, yeah, of course. I feel confident enough to do that.
Yeah. Oh,
so, cool. Yeah, maybe you feel confident enough to do the basics.
Yeah,
and then
just
you just
learn the basics.
Yeah, it's not too hard.
No.
Yeah.
If you could do photography, you could do the basics. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. I feel confident.
You're welcome.
Fucking video guys are fucking nerds, dude. So
I know. Yeah. Whole video thing's crazy, but I respect it though.
Yeah. So what are some of your goals for this year now that you're a full-time freelancer?
Obviously like just stay consistent with like, more than like 10, 15 gigs a month, and then also branch out into more like clientele, like personal clientele stuff. Like I have some visions with like some people I want to work with like fashion, or like I like the way someone looks. I'm like, okay, I want to try some stuff, do like high-end portrait photography, or I think another thing too, I want to try and, shoot more festivals. Obviously like try like a sporting event. Just dip my toes in like other aspects.
See what you like.
See what I like. See what I don't like.
Nice.
Like car photography is always cool. I've always liked that. I want to try
car photography. That you said.
Yeah.
Nice.
Or auto photography. I don't know if there's like a certain name. Car
photography.
Car photography. Excuse me.
Automotive.
Someone's freaking out. What the? It's called.
Did you mean automotive, sir? Yeah, but just like try new things. Just because like I feel like the nightlife is like really fun, but I know like I probably have like maybe another year or two left in the tank for sure before I'm like, all right, I want to try something new. Like expand my.
It's this guy.
Yeah.
I'm
the new Mike, yeah.
Yeah, but it's different now because you're doing the win stuff directly. So maybe that tickles your fancy a little bit more than the
than
the other stuff. Like high end shoots would be fun too. Like try, like be like second assistant or second camera or whatever. Just like the wedding thing, just try that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just see what I like and dislike. So
yeah, that's good. You got to get out there and try different stuff. Yeah, like that's where the not saying no to anything.
I mean, like
really
obviously,
helps.
yeah, my dream would be like shoot street photography full time, but that's not realistic at all. So
Yeah, I'd love to know like how does that pay?
I've no, unless you're doing
Probably
like
be selling
NFTs, or
prints,
something
right?
like that.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can. Yeah, is like
Yeah, prints or NFTs or like I have this thing. You got to build up like a reputation of like, oh, like I like this photographer because he has like this specific style.
right. Then then you get lucky and maybe now you're traveling based on it of like I like this Sam style, like let's get him, like you said,
And it's
Tokyo.
cool. Like this woman in New York, her name's Paola Frankie, goes by Maneris. You probably heard of her. Same thing. She just did street photography. And now she's working with like United and Delta and like high end clients. Just
sick.
like
There you go.
so I'm like, oh, that'd be kind of cool, you know, it's like stuff like that.
Right.
And they hired her because like, oh, like we like your work, we like your vision, like just come over here and just so stuff like that. Eventually, down the line, but I mean the goal is just like travel the world and see the streets of Tokyo, Paris, Spain, Italy, Rome, all that stuff. But
For sure.
I mean, you can do NFTs, but I don't know. NFTs is like such a wishy-washy thing. I don't know.
I don't know shit about
I don't know
shit.
shit about. I met some like NFT nerds last summer, and they're like, "Oh, I'll help you out," and then never heard from them. And I was like, I don't really care. This sounds bad already, you know.
What are you doing? What's Sam doing when he's not working the nightclubs in downtown Fremont at odd hours of the morning?
I'm kind of like a hermit. I just like to like stay home and like watch movies. I used to like play video games like a lot. I was a hardcore gamer before. What
was your poison of choice?
Halo.
Oh shit! Okay.
Played Halo, Call of Duty, primarily like Halo though, like Halo 1, Halo 2.
Halo 3 was my jam for a few years in middle school.
Like I want to go like professional. I was like, oh, maybe I can do like esports or something like that. But then I was like, no, I can't. I'm not. I'm nowhere near good. And my parents were like, we're not sending you out to like Dallas to play video games. Like you can't do that.
That's not a real thing.
I was like, oh, come on, Mom. Like I'm good, I promise. But no, mostly just staying home. Just I've been watching a lot more movies lately. Trying to like, I'm always like trying to like.
What have you been watching? Any recommendations?
Empire. I just watched Empire of Light. That's a really good movie.
Okay.
That's on HBO. I've watched Blade Runner a couple times. Prometheus. I like anything like futuristic sci-fi area.
Did you like Dune, the most recent?
Dune was incredible. Dune was so good.
You still haven't seen it, right?
No, I did.
Oh, you finally?
Yeah, Ivana watched it, and then she went back, and she's like, "You have to see it." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then we saw it. I was like, "Oh, fuck, that's pretty cool."
I rewatched it on the plane.
Nice.
A few months ago, and
when were you on a plane, dude?
A few months ago.
He's like, when were you on a plane?
But I watched it in theaters, and then I rewatched it, and I was like,
I saw it in theaters.
Wow, I was like, this is still so good.
I just watched Nope again. Nope was good.
That's
such a good movie.
Really?
Yeah, I like that. Do you like scary movies or just kind of like,
I fell asleep during that one.
Oh, wow.
Straight up in the theaters.
Damn.
Like I didn't fall asleep at home. I fell asleep in the theaters on Nope. I felt like it was two different directors. So like the whole first half was good with like building the storyline and character development and like keeping the viewer interested. And then I feel like the whole second half was just like stale.
Oh, really?
And then the fucking
I thought that was like the most exciting part when they're like trying to figure out like how to capture the creature kind of thing, whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, to each his their own. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, other than that, just like movies, I'm trying to like read more as much as I can. I don't know. I don't really like, I'm kind of like, I've always been like introverted, extroverted. So I could just stay in my room all day and just like watch TV or just like kind of read or literally do nothing. Cause I don't know.
That's awesome.
Because I feel like now my life is like full-time photography. Even when I'm not like taking photos, I'll see something. I'm like, oh, that'd be a cool photo. You know,
it doesn't shut off.
It doesn't shut off. So
that's how I feel about skateboarding, like grip skateboarding. And like,
that's cool.
I'll like walk by something. I'm like, oh, that'd be like a 6 month.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, dude, I haven't skated in like 15 years.
Yeah, I used to play hockey.
Over, dude. Yeah, but that would be a good ledge.
Yeah, like, I used to play hockey growing up too, and I kind of miss that. I retired when I turned 22, but. I was like, I can probably pick that up again.
They have like beer leagues and shit, right?
Yeah, I'll just do like something like that, something simple. So
my friend Steven plays hockey.
Yeah, I got a few. Yeah, I got a few friends that play in. I call it a beer league, but yeah, it's like the.
It's an adult league.
Just like recreational league or some shit.
Yeah, I think it actually is an actual beer league though, because their name is like
like Milwaukee or something. Like
something
like
stupid.
Bud Ice or some shit.
Yeah, like the Las Vegas Nuggets, and their logo is like a frothy beer or whatever.
Yeah.
So when you're doing your street photography, is there any piece of equipment that's essential for you to do it? I know you do have like some dreaminess to it. Are you using like a Pro Mist filter?
I started with that because I was like heavily inspired by like New York photographers. I'm like, man, they get all the cool weather. We get sun like 400 days a year here or something like that, you know? But yeah, I was using a Tiffin Pro Mist. So I started with that, and then I realized like in Lightroom you can just throw on dehaze to like -50. I'm like, oh, same thing. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah. But like I feel like when I shoot street photography, I go through like phases. Like every couple months, I'll like shoot wide with like filters on, and then like maybe 3 months later, it's like, okay, I want to shoot more compressed, no filters, try and capture like interesting characters or like certain signs that I like to see or something like that. But
How often are you still shooting street photography?
I'll go out like at least once or twice a week if I'm not.
Oh,
working.
dang.
Yeah.
So we should all go out.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I haven't done street photography. I think
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. We just like have a couple beers and just walk the streets.
That doesn't even count. We just walked around.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's what happens when you first start. People are like, "What do I shoot?" I'm
Right.
like, just shoot anything. If like when you're a photographer, you see something like immediately you're like, "Oh, that'd be kind of cool."
Yeah.
There's like
Yeah.
that little click in like your head where like, "Oh, I should capture that," and that's when you gotta like start there.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I know my spots around the Strip in Fremont, and I know like that's why I like Fremont more because it's like an old Las Vegas, so you see
Right.
like an older crowd of people, and usually like the older crowd of people are like,
Yeah.
some of them are like well dressed, and I like capturing like characters in like cool outfits, or I'll see a character with like a top hat and like
Right.
the way like they're positioned in front of like the binion sign, make it look like a depth thing kind of thing, or
See, that doesn't interest me at all.
yeah,
No. To do it.
no,
to
of
do it.
course. That was perfect.
Very cool, Sam. But that doesn't.
No,
interest
to
me.
do,
No, I know
to
what
do
you're
it on
saying.
digital doesn't interest me because I
Yeah.
feel like I'm too connected to like work with digital. But I was thinking, oh, what if I got like because I have a point and shoot film camera.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
if I got
Yeah.
a regular film camera like with a lens?
Right. A little SLR.
Yeah.
Is that what they're called? Or I
Single
guess-
lens. Yeah.
Okay, yes. If
Yeah.
I got an SLR film camera, then that would be fun because then that
Yeah,
takes me
'cause
out of
that's
the
what
work mode and brings me more into like the fun mode.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I like
makes
about
sense.
film camera because I have a Canon A1. I
Right.
think that's SLR,
The AE1?
right? No, just A1. There's
Okay.
an AE1 and then like A1, but same thing. It allows me to like realize like, oh, I gotta slow down because with like street photography on digital, I can just like I can wait for my shot and just hold continuous high, and one of like the 9 shots will be like what I wanted.
Right.
But
Yeah.
Bound to get one.
like
Yeah.
okay, cool, that one works. And then but with like film, I gotta like take my time. It's all analog, so I gotta like find the focus. And even in New York, I was trying it. And I was like, this shit's fucking hard, but like I loved it though. It was such like a eye-opening experience of like
Yeah.
trying to capture something cool on film, and like
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get one.
they're
Yeah.
fun, man.
I was
They're
thinking about
definitely
getting
fun.
one the other day. Actually, do you have any recommendations, Sean?
Antique stores. Yeah.
Antique
No,
stores.
Oh, like camera? No.
like
Like
SLR camera to start out with.
the Canon AE1, like
Canon
that
A1,
Sam
yeah.
mentioned.
Yeah.
I feel like they must have made like a million of those because everyone other than me
right,
has
that's what
one.
I'm saying.
Everyone has one other than me. Every time I see someone's like, I picked up a film camera, it's always
Canon
Canon
AE1.
fucking AE1, dude. I'm like, where
Yeah,
are they
they
at?
must have made like 5 million
Yeah.
for sure for like that 5 year. It was like
Dude,
being
Every
produced.
single time, or like somebody will reach out to me like, dude, I got a film camera. I'm like, oh, cool. And then they like show me it, and it's a Canon AE1. And I'm like, is there
Yeah,
just
I
like
never,
a bucket
I never see like
somewhere?
Minoltas or
No.
anything else, or like
There's just like this golden rainbow, and they're just all filled with
Yeah.
Canon AE1s, and everyone's like, I got the.
well, that's the cool
A1.
thing about the Canon A1. It has a built-in light meter, so it's already like it's a cheat right there. I don't
Yeah.
have to like usually like there's like an app I can like use my phone pointing at something and I'd be
Fuck
like,
that.
No,
Yeah.
both of mine have light meters. One works, and the other one's like
other one's like kind of wonky,
a little
but-
finicky. Yeah.
Yeah, because I got like a really good like pristine Canon A1, so it was like still good. And the guy who showed me is like, okay, like you see the bottom of this, how it's silver, like that's how you know it's legit. If anyone tries to like sell you one and it's black, don't take it. I was like, okay, it's like little things like that. Like I didn't know, but no, it's just cool. I like it. It allows me like, because like with like street photography, I'm like very run and gun. I can't really like sit still for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, nah, I'd rather just like run around. But with like film, I'm like, we take my time and find my shot.
Yeah.
And it's cool. And like, with film, there's like, 50 different color negative styles you could choose from,
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get one. We should all go out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Maybe we'll go out in the winter when we have time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, next couple months would be crazy. But I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I'm eager.
You hungry?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
You hungry at lunch?
No, I haven't eaten yet, so yeah, I'm actually down to eat. I'm so starving. I like worked out. Only had a protein shake after, so
Oh shit.
starving.
Do you have any moments that like stick out in your brain that like you're proud of? Like it could be like a photo you took, or like you know what I mean, like something where you're like,
Yeah.
all right,
He's like, yeah, I'm
cool.
proud I'm on this podcast.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, I know. No, there was like the one time. It's on my Instagram page. It's like the first photo like the second photo I pinned. I was in like New York, and
Let's
we were
see.
like walking.
Oh, that's right. We could pull it up in live because we have technology.
Yeah.
Well, you're in.
It was like I was walking some street and like a classic car. Like I'm a sucker for classic cars, and like there was a classic car pulled up. That's the one.
Ooh, that's
and
pretty
it was a classic
cool.
car. And then like the Empire State Building was in the back, and it was like a snowy morning.
It's like
that's when I was like
straight out of
I was like a
70s.
kid at a candy store. Yeah, I took like 30 photos of that car, like every angle, and I was like, oh, there's photos like that, and then I think like one of like my first like kissing photos in the club, I was like really proud of. I mean, it felt weird, but I was like, oh, this is so cool. I got it.
Yeah, you definitely have like Chelsea was saying last week on the podcast. She mentioned that like I could look at Chelsea. Sorry, Chelsea said that if she can go on her feed and see your photo and immediately tell it's your photo, like then like that's a win.
That's a huge like.
So I think you definitely have that style. It's pretty cool, man.
You. Yeah.
I think that's something I struggle with.
What do you mean?
I just feel like I don't like necessarily have a style, or it's not like a cutting edge style.
That's how I feel like too. I feel like I haven't really found my style yet. I'm just like tweaking a bunch of like other styles, and then I don't even have like a preset saved for me. I just kind of like like going back to like that Beeple guy. Mm-hmm. I just start from scratch. Every photo's from scratch. I mean, obviously like it's different when it's like work stuff. I can just like get it out quickly, but like when I'm like capturing a street photo, I'm like, okay, how am I gonna edit this? I just start from scratch because I rather just make it my own way. And sometimes, I fail like 4 or 5 times, and that's normal. I realize that's part of the process is like, start over. Okay. Don't like that edit. Start over again.
Yeah. Chew on it for a bit, come back. And okay.
I usually say like, I let it marinate for a while, So.
Yeah. Letting it marinate. But I think you have a style.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, from an outsider's perspective.
For sure.
Definitely. But I feel like me in my head, like I see your style. I'm like, oh, mine's not like that at all. So it feels like I don't know. Like, yeah, if you look at my stuff, like,
yeah, yours definitely like really like crispy. Looks like professional, like high end.
Yeah, it's like true to life, but it's vibrant. Like that's definitely one thing that I feel like I struggle with in that sense of like I want the things to be true to life when they are, but I just don't get that vibrancy and that pop that like you're able to achieve.
Yeah, that's
like, without being too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would go through like your old club photos back then. I'd be like, God damn, Mike's like these are sharp and like bright and beautiful. Like, like damn, how does he do this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I say. Like, I don't know, man. Just I got lucky.
Yeah.
No, a lot. I've been doing that a lot recently. Like, I'll come home like, I got dog shit. I'm like, oh, this is pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you gotta pat yourself on the back every now and then, man. You're like, oh, I'm proud of this.
No. I don't pat myself on the back.
Oh, okay.
I call myself a piece of shit, and I gotta work hard.
Just dig really deep out of there. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, nothing comes easy. I gotta push myself.
I agree with that. Yeah, you're always like, this is good, but it could be way better.
Yeah,
that's the only problem. Like, I feel like you'll go into that rabbit hole, and then you're like, then next thing you know, you're like, you hate everything you shoot sometimes.
Yeah, I hate literally everything. Nothing I take is good. Why do you think I don't post that much?
You don't
on
have
Instagram?
like one photo.
Trash.
Really?
Trash.
Oh, you gotta get out of that.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's very what's the word? It's very toxic of you, Mike.
Oh, thanks.
So, like when you send client photos, and like, oh my god, these are great. You're like, nah, these are all terrible. Like,
these are fucking trash.
You
just being nice.
Well, no. With the clients, like I know, like I'll know that they'll be happy.
Yeah,
and I'm like, yes, they're getting what they want. They're happy. That's cool. But I'm like, do I love it enough to post it? I'm like, no,
I see.
It's fucking trash. That's how I feel.
See, I think that was the whole thing of me like posting a new photo every day. I did it for like every day for like a year and a half or something, like one new photo or like
I remember that. Yeah, 365.
And eventually, like after like a while, I was like, I don't really care. Eventually, like you reach a point where you're like, okay, I'm happy with this. I can't really tweak it anymore. Like it's not good to like aim for perfectionism all the time because then you'll never like achieve it. You just have to be like, all right, good enough. Let's go, post it. Yeah. And eventually, like after like months, just like, oh, I'm getting better and better and better. So, and now I'm like happy to like show my work because I love it.
I'm gonna use that next time. The client's like, "Oh, can we change this or edit this?" I'm like, you can't aim for perfection.
Sorry, I don't aim for perfection.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't aim for perfection.
Well, it's like the pet peeve of like giving a client photo and they post it and they throw like a fucking filter on it. And you're like, all right, well, fuck my work,
dude. Speaking of that,
that's a pet peeve. I forgot about that. Yeah.
It's not
going back to that.
It's not even that. So I have this client that I did photos back in January. They're a restaurant, so it's like menu photos, some cocktails. So it's taken me 2 months, 3 months now to get them, because I sent them all the photos and I said, make your selects, I'll edit those. And I sent them a test edit based on those of like, here's how they're going to look based on what you told me. You want it dark, you want it warm, yada, yada. So they finally get me the selects this week. And then I went on their Instagram page and they were posting the raw photo, like the unedited photos. And I'm like, why am I sitting here going to edit these when you're posting them? Because at first they were posting like their cell phone, like their BTS stuff. And I was like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, of course.
But then now, like the other day, I realized.
This is a food client?
Yeah. I'm like, why are you posting the raws?
Can I ask, how do they get the raws?
Oh, I just sent them all through Pixie Set.
No, you sent the raws though.
Well, the unedited, not the raws.
Oh, so you sent them proofs.
Yeah, I sent them proofs.
Oh, okay.
Here's your fucking 500 photos. Pick your favorite.
Who was I just? Oh, yeah, my friend. I was on his podcast and I was telling him he ran into the same issue. So you giving them like high res proofs?
Mm-hmm.
You got to like knock them down to shit quality just so they can see
that's
what it
I've
is
been
and they
doing
can make
too,
a pick, but then they
Right.
can't use them for anything.
Yeah. Well, my thing was because like I said, Verily got back to me yesterday about, okay, here's our like whatever 60 to edit.
Yeah.
But then days ago, you're already posting the raws, and I'm like, well, what's the point of me editing if you're clearly happy with just the raw that's just
Yeah, of course.
untouched? Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Then that's when are you charging for post production?
no, but I should.
Yeah, so I have some clients. Where I charge post production, but then I have some that I never charge, so then I can't just add it now.
Right.
So like new
Gotcha.
clients, I'm implementing post production. Because then if they just want to post shit unedited, then
What's the point of me spending my time to? Yeah.
exactly, because now you're in this conundrum. You're like, well, you're already doing it, so then why do I have to edit it? But then like, oh, well, I thought editing was included.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta like
So
break
that's
it
a
down
good-
for them. See, that's
yeah.
like stuff I'm learning too. It's like, oh, I gotta break down like, oh yeah, it's like this for editing, that for like photos.
See, I've
Yeah.
never really charged for editing. That's just not something that's like been in my like workflow. But with certain clients, I'm now separating like an
Like
MGM
commercial- like
client,
commercial work.
an
Yeah.
MGM
Yeah,
because
that
I
makes
know
sense.
like a client like MGM, I know it's gonna go through 15 people for revisions and
Exactly.
edits. So it's like that's
Gotcha.
just more time because like now I'm on like revision number 3 for this video clip or what usually it's video and like photos are pretty much cut and dry, but it'd be like third revision. I'm like, dude, I need to start charging for
Revision,
this
yeah, that's
because
insane.
replace this one clip, change this
Well, yeah,
audio.
you could do like 2 revisions.
Give us
and
options,
then
yeah.
Third is hourly.
Right.
Rate
Hourly by
will
the
be
time.
started. Yeah.
That makes sense.
So,
it's
little-
little things I don't even
yeah.
know about that. Like
Well, I mean, you
Sounds
learn
good.
them.
as you go and you go,
yeah,
God
as you
damn
go
it.
on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like, oh fuck, I should have
Yep.
done that. God damn, I should have done that. Like, oh, why did I?
Send us 2 options. You're like, fuck, I already sent you 3. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's 2 more options and all that. So
Yeah, like I had a food client and I sent them. So I didn't do proofs. I just picked them myself.
Right.
And then they're like, oh, can you send all the images?
Right.
And then I'm like, I don't know. So instead of asking a bunch of questions, I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'll just knock them down in quality. And I'm like, hey, here they are in smaller res form. If you see anything that you would like me to edit that wasn't in the original batch, please let me know and I'll take care of it for you.
there you go.
And then magically didn't hear back.
Yeah, so I started with like portrait, like client work, same thing. I'll just take like 300-400 photos. I'm very quick too. I don't really like when I do portrait work. I'm just like, let's just get this over with. I don't want to be here that long. I'm not good at this. Like, I'm not good at posing people.
wanna be here.
I'm just good with my camera and my editing. Like that's my pride right there.
I found this app that has a ton of, I'll show you after, but
Yeah, of course.
posing app.
Oh, really?
Ask me about it
Yeah,
later.
I'm not good at like people. Like if I can work with people who already know what to do, I'm like, cool, great. Get this in and out, bang bang. And then same thing, I send them like low res quality of like 300, 400 photos. I'm like, yeah, just pick like 10 or 20.
Yeah.
And then I end up getting
That's what I need to do.
yeah, and then I end up giving them like way more because I'm very
Pros and,
nice.
Yeah, there's pros and cons with it.
Yeah.
I like.
Well, I mean, I do send depending the situation, I do send the the few hundred and you pick, but like I don't send like the low shitty quality, that way I don't get like gypped or whatever. But that's like a
Right.
good little like they don't need
Yeah,
to,
or watermarks.
Right, yeah,
Like
watermarks.
think about
I'll
Getty
think about
images why they
watermarks.
have the watermark in the center. So if anybody screenshots it,
right.
boop. Yeah.
You can't like you can't like hide it or anything like that.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. Little
So,
things like that.
Yeah, just little
are
things.
nice.
So
But then too, sometimes people try to take advantage. If you give them proofs and then they pick like 100 images, you're like, no.
Yeah.
So you gotta just there's pros and cons either way.
let's get that number down to about 30 to 40.
yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't got that yet. When people are like, "Oh, I like 1 through 58." I'm like, "Oh shit, I just
Yeah.
said 10."
yeah. I've had that happen. I shot this. It was like her birthday. She got like a suite at the Cosmo.
Oh, there you go.
I sent her like 400. I think I just dumped almost a whole card.
Oh shit.
So it was like 400. This was like 400 photos. But I was like, yeah, pick like 20, 30 favorites and I'll edit those. She gets back to me. She's like, oh, I like 100 of them though. And I was like,
You're like, nope, it's
no,
gonna cost you
I
more.
said 30.
Yeah.
Oh, but I like I got it down to like 80. Still 30.
Yeah, then one like another friend told me, he's like, that's when you start charging them like per like extra picture if they want. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. Like,
yeah, then
$10 or $20 a photo.
You should do
extra.
an hourly post production rate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then when you do that, they all of a sudden don't like it.
They're like,
80
oh, okay.
photos.
Like,
They go, oh shit, I like
80 photos
3.
goes down to like 30. You're like, okay, I got it. We're good. So
Okay, I'll pick my top 5.
definitely.
What's do you have anything coming up that you're excited for, either professionally or personally?
Oh, that strip club thing. Like, it's not even about the women. It's just like the environment. I've always wanted to like.
I mean, yeah, it's not.
Sure.
It's
Yeah,
not.
I mean, that's
Babe,
just an
I'm
added
not
bonus.
going for the girls.
I'm not going for the girls.
Work.
They have
No,
food. My friends are going.
I tell you, I'm a sucker for ambient lighting.
Right, I'm there for the
Coming to the
lights.
stage, ambient lighting.
Listen,
No, but that's pretty much it. I'm always grateful for like the nightclub stuff too. So like I would shoot like 5 nights a week if I could, but obviously like Sammy's number one and like that's fine.
It's top dog.
Top
you're a
dog, and that's
machine if you
okay.
could do 5 nights a week.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like is like the traveling back and forth, especially like on like weekends where I'm like, oh god, like day club then back to nightclub. I'm like, oh, I should just like get a hotel room, just like
Right.
Just
But,
live close to the street.
Just not live in Summerlin, you know?
yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, other than that, just I don't know. I got like some portrait shoots coming up soon with like some people that I like. So I'm like, oh, this should be like fun and interesting. But
Yeah, for sure.
other than that, that's pretty much it. So
Nothing personally going on, just fucking working away.
just working away, man. That's it. Well, as long as I have like a good healthy balance of like working out, eating right, not drinking too much. I don't know. That's pretty much it.
Where do you go to the gym or
Yeah,
do you
I
work?
go to the gym.
Okay.
Like at least like 4 days a week. So
Oh, nice.
Can I
try to
ask?
say like
I know you did. Did you do 1 year sobriety?
I did that. Yeah.
What were some of the takeaways that you got from doing 1 year? And also,
Yeah.
you chose to not drink or use marijuana
Partake in the
What is
drugs.
that? The devil's lettuce.
for 1 year, right?
Yeah, I did a whole year.
So
it was
any
like
takeaways?
2021 to 20. What year is it? 23. Yeah, 2021. I'm trying to think what year did I do
Yeah, when
this.
you're fucking lost
Like
in here.
clearly, he's still drinking now.
Yeah.
Can't
Yeah.
remember.
No, it was good. I had much more clarity, and when I focus on things, I didn't. And I like that. I slept better, which is like I'm a huge proponent of like I love like good 7-8 hours of sleep. And then also if I had problems, I just had to like deal with them. I couldn't like let me just have a drink or like let me
Drink it
smoke.
away, yeah.
So I think that was like the main thing. And then also like learning in nightlife sober was like cool too. That was like a great way to like. I mean, obviously, it's different now because people are like, "You want a shot? You want a shot?" I'm like, "No, I gotta work. I gotta work. I gotta work."
You,
Yeah.
can, get, you
But-
can definitely get into a rut.
Yeah, you can get to a rut sometimes where people are like, "Yo, come on." I'm like, oh, I gotta work, but okay. But I liked it. I recommend people do it, even if people are saying like, oh, I don't have a problem, but like yo, just try like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
No alcohol, no smoking,
Yeah.
or like whatever their vice is, whatever. Like for me, my vice is still like cheeseburgers. Like I fucking love double cheeseburgers, man. I'm telling you, man.
What's your favorite double cheeseburger to get?
Man, it's probably like In-N-Out. In-N-Out double.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, I can't go wrong with that.
I mean, and then if you do In-N-Out double,
Dude, if
protein
In-N-Out-
style.
if In-N-Out was open like till like 4 a.m., I'll go there like
All right.
3 nights a
after
week.
the club,
After the club or something like that, I'll be there. But no, but like I liked it. It felt good too. Like I saved a lot more money too. I didn't realize I was like, oh, I'm spending a lot of money on like weed. Weed's expensive here, man. Like,
Weed gets pricey.
yeah, weed gets pricey because I was like, I'm usually like I'm a casual smoker. I smoke like every day, a couple times a day, casually.
Casual compared to who?
Yeah,
Fucking
well, it's
Snoop
people that
Dogg?
smoke like people smoke like every hour. I smoke like once or twice a day. Or something.
Oh,
Well, it's funny that you
God.
said casual, then you said every day. I don't
Yeah.
think that's
Well,
true.
well,
I don't think those are
Yeah,
synonyms.
It's not like a
casual,
weekend thing.
casual compared to who?
well, it's not like, oh, how many drinks do you have a week? And it's like 3 on Friday and then 7
Yeah.
on Saturday. But no, I think casual. Casual is very loosely put in there, but it's not. No, I enjoy it every now and then. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, it's fun.
Hey, we're not judging.
Yeah,
of
that's
course
a
not.
judgment-free zone, man.
Yeah.
Sean and I like to get after it as well.
There you go.
But
No, I can't do it with like photo or like client work. I tried like one time and I was like, I can't focus. I just
Right.
want to. So it's mainly like after work or
That's
if
good.
I don't have like anything.
it's good. Yeah, we should go do some street photography soon. I'm
Definitely,
gonna
man.
get a camera.
Now like the weather's kind of like nice and it's not like miserably cold out.
Yeah.
Or miserably hot yet.
Miserably hot.
So we have a short window.
Saturday's gonna be 87 degrees.
We had a short window
Yeah,
for
short window.
fucking June.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me know when you guys are down. Usually like free weekdays. So
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I usually
I'm down.
go around like sunset time ish, a little after. So
Yeah.
it's
Dusk.
like my dust.
Yeah, I want to do that. I want
Let's
to
go.
shoot some street, and then also I want to try to vlog.
It'll
So
be a
that'd be a
date.
good excuse.
I'm saying we can like have a couple beers. Something like that
Fucking
too.
nerd.
Got to experiment.
Yeah.
Nothing
Well,
wrong
we
with
can't
that.
have beers. You just said we were, trying to make good choices.
No, we'll just smoke some weed.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
drinking.
Just smoke weed.
Yeah, I'm not drinking for a while still, but
Oh, that's good.
I'll just smoke some
Smoke some fresh.
Devil's
grind.
dandruff.
Some
Devil's dandruff.
Or no, wait.
devil's lettuce.
Yeah, because the dandruff is coke, right?
Is it? I don't know.
No.
Well, on that note,
Dandruff doesn't look like weed, so
tell the people where to find you, Sam.
Just find me on Instagram and Twitter, Samuel_the Canadian. Working on a website.
you don't have a website?
No, I don't have a website.
Oh, you're fucking
I'm so
rogue out
I
here.
am a procrastinator times 100, man. Like, I don't know. But working on a website, so I got that coming soon. And then, yeah, just Instagram is the best place to reach me. So
Very nice.
that's it.
Cool.
Yeah.
On that note, this post is sponsored by Squarespace. No.
Thank you, Squarespace.
Thank you, Squarespace. It was a
that
YouTube
it?
joke. Clearly, fucked it up.
Guys, thank you for having me.
Sean,
Really
you're
appreciate you
not
guys.
funny.
Dude, that was so cool. Thank you guys. Like, it was awesome.
Dude,
So,
thanks for coming on.
Bye.
bye.
See ya.